Today I thought we would try out something new here. For many years I have shot ball ammo and really believed in ball ammo because I never did find any hollow points that I really liked that much. And Hornady has really impressed me with some of their ballistic tip stuff. I've shot some chickens with my 110 grain ballistic tip bullet, just an exploding bullet, and Hornady's engineering is excellent. So today we're going to try out Hornady Critical Defense. This is 45 caliber round, and we are dropping down from Grandpa's old 230 grain ball ammo down to 185 grain, and this will come out of the tube at 1,000 feet per second. So I wanted to try it on some water jugs today, and we'll make this short and sweet, and then I'll piece together some other things we're going to look at. We'll definitely want to check it for weight and expansion. Got the calipers, got the digital scales out, and today's test gun is going to be the Springfield Ronin. This is commander size, 4 1/4. Let's do a quick check on the chamber. We do have one in the chamber. That is a nice nickel plated round, which is really easy to see. I like that. So let's take a look at this. Point blank shooting. We got 4 jugs of water. We've got a little wooden backstop to make absolutely sure the bullet doesn't get away. Pretty thick piece of wood. So we'll give this a try. Probably going to get a little water on me, but that's okay. So here we go on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I did get a little water on me, but that's okay. When you're in a close combat situation, it could go just like that. So let's take a look and see if we can find that bullet. The first container, as you can see, completely exploded. It is history and empty. The second container took the bullet. There's an entrance wound and an exit wound, and it is empty. I didn't shoot ballistic gelatin today, but I can tell you from all the tests I've read, it'll do 14 inches in FBI ballistic gelatin. And we have jug number 3, and I see it has not lost all of its water. That's a good sign. There's an entrance wound on jug number 3, and I do not see an exit wound. So our bullet is in there. I see the little red ball right there jumping up and down. That little red ball in the tip of that bullet has a very important job. It looks like a long pencil eraser. I'm sure it's made out of a special plastic, but as that plastic pushes down, it starts to balloon out and make a pancake, kind of a flat pancake coming out, and it makes those lips curl back. And that's all you need, those copper jacketed lips to curl back. As soon as they do, they're going to curl the rest of the way. Kind of like the old suicide car doors in the 30s, I think 30s and 40s, they had some doors. They weren't hinged like the doors today, hinged on the front, open like that. They were hinged on the back. And so when you open them, if you drove a little too close to a pole, it's going to trim your car door off. That's the same thing this bullet's doing. So let's take a look at this. Dump this out very carefully, because I want to get that bullet. Man, I want that little piece of red rubber too. Where did he go? Oh, here he is. He did not get away. He acted like he was going to get away, but he didn't get away. He got close to getting away. And there's not much of him left. Wow, that is really small. If you can see that, that really is a small piece of rubber. I guess it damaged it some. You can see that, about the size of a piece of popcorn. Hold it like that, you can see a little bit better. And the bullet is absolutely beautiful. I cannot believe how nice that bullet is. I mean, that thing is super nice. So I'll get back with you here in a minute, and we'll get the calipers out and start doing some super scientific analyzing, and zoom in a little closer so you can see a little bit better. So, and that's jug 3. Jug number 4 is fully intact. Never got to jug number 4. So that's the kind of stuff you want to shoot right there in your home, so that you don't accidentally shoot through a bad guy and 2 or 3 walls and shoot your children. So thanks for watching. Okay, time to do a little analyzing after the shot. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the reason that I've switched on my ammo. I used this ammo right here for a number of years just because it was cheap more than anything else. It was my own reloads. 230 grain ball ammo. It's what I was raised with. It's what I shot in the military. And the more I started studying the hollow points, at first they just didn't do that great. They had problems with getting clogged up. Just about anything you shot would clog them up. They wouldn't act like a hollow point. They still act like a full metal jacket. But these Hornady Critical Defense have overcome that easily. They've got a special little rubber tip in them, a little hardened plastic tip. That little tip right there is designed, as you push it down, it's going to expand outward. It's built kind of like a pencil eraser. That's what it looks like if you took a brand new one out of if you could take it out of there. But anyway, as it pushes down, instead of staying a tall cylinder, it turns more into a pancake, and it pushes these little copper lips out. And as soon as they start to go out, of course traveling at 1,000 feet a second, they're going to fold back. And that's what you end up with, is this nice design right here. It looks like a beautiful flower petal. We want to take a look and see how much that we lost on this. Let me zero out my scale here. Put that at 0. I don't know if that's going to show up on the screen, but I can read it to you, tell you what we got. That is showing at 175 grains, 175.8 grains. This is a 185 grain bullet, so it retained a very large percentage of its weight, which is going to keep it traveling if you had to shoot a bad guy. Let's take a look at what it did for diameter. We know the original diameter was 0.451, and now that it has hit the water jugs, it stopped in water jug number 3. What I'm going to do to make this easy, I'm going to get my reading on here so it can't fall. I get the biggest point, widest point, and then I'm going to lock that in on the calipers so that you can see it. And that is pretty impressive. That is 0.739. So we're talking about going from a 1/2 inch bullet up to basically 3/4 of an inch bullet traveling through you. That would really cause some severe temporary wound channel, and definitely a very serious 3/4 inch. If that was a drill bit, that'd be basically 3/4 inch drill bit, and it will go through gel, ballistic gelatin, up to 14 inches with this Critical Defense. Now I know Hornady makes one called Critical Duty, and it adds about 6 to 8 more inches to that. That would be for a police officer or somebody that may have to shoot through a car door or something a little more radical than home protection. But this is what I'm going to use from now on, home protection. You can see the little bitty red tip here that was down inside there, and it has, I guess it ballooned out. It definitely has got a flare to it. It chewed it up a little bit. It looks like a flower that bloomed, and then it closed back up as the night got cold. So whatever that is, it feels like a pencil eraser. Feels like about the same consistency, but it's definitely designed to expand. So that was sitting down in there like that, and as soon as it touched that water jug, just the skin of that water jug was enough to get that to expand back. And I didn't use any denim on this. I don't see the need in that, but you're not going to stop one of these babies up. That's just all there is to it. The other thing I like about these is the way that they sound when I chamber them in the gun. Let's have a look at that real quick. We'll put one of these in the magazine here. Lock this magazine, lock this slide to the rear, load the magazine, and listen how smooth that sounds when you chamber that round, and watch it go. Here we go. Very smooth. Put safety on. Let's do that again. One live round out. It ejects very easy. We'll go ahead and just cycle it this time. Cycling. Here we go. Let it fly. Sounds great. Do it one more time. Take the live round out. I'm in a very safe location out in the woods. Woods in front of me. No problem. All right, there it is. One more time. And real quiet, real careful. Now watch this. Now that's a pretty good test. I say that because this particular pistol is a shorter than normal 45. Standard 45, government model would be a 5-inch. And this is the commander size, which is 4 1/4. 4 1/4 is known for having a fairly steep angle on your feed ramp. This one has a feed ramp type barrel, and it's a little bit steeper than a regular 5-inch gun. But it chambers good and smooth. It has had no problems with reliability. I've shot several of these already. So I'm real happy with this. I think that this gives me a new instilled confidence in this particular bullet. If I had to shoot a bad guy in my home, I would much rather use that, knowing that it's probably going to dump all of its energy. This will have right at 400, I think it's 412 or 13 foot-pounds. Let's just call it 400. It travels at about 1,000 feet a second. It produces about 400 foot-pounds of energy out of a short barrel gun, 4 3/4 inch barrel. And these, the old-timey 230 grain ball ammo, are very good in the Army when you're out in the field and you're wanting to shoot through a bad guy, the enemy, and you don't care if it goes through him and takes out another bad guy. But when you're in your home setting, you don't want to just be shooting through the problem and then through a wall and through another wall and then find out that you have injured or done even worse to one of your family members, your wife, one of your children, a dog, you know, a pet canary, whatever. You don't want to shoot anything extra. If you're having to take care of a problem and it is a bad guy, an intruder in your home, you want to dump all the energy into him and not even pass through him and get the job done. So Hornady has done a lot of engineering on this critical defense ammo. There's your numbers on there if you need to see those. That is a 45 auto, 185 grain, traveling at 1,000 feet a second. They rated that in a 3-inch barrel. So with a 4 3/4, I may be getting a little bit more speed than 1,000. But let's just call it 1,000. 1,000 feet per second. It hits hard. It opens good every time. This was found in jug number 3. 3 jugs of water. You're welcome to try that yourself if you've got a 45, whether it's a 4 3/4 inch or a 5-inch government model. Go ahead and get you 3 or 4 jugs of water, line them up. I shot it point blank as you saw it, put water all over me, but I'm not a snowflake, so I didn't melt. I wasn't worried about it. I wanted it to seem kind of like a combat situation, kind of up close and personal, so that's what we had. So appreciate y'all watching and hope that you learned something from this. Please use these in your home for self-protection, and use them out on the street too for self-protection so that you don't go shooting through somebody and somebody else and somebody else. This is for the Army. This is for military men out in a military setting. These are for civilians in a civilian setting for personal protection of yourself, your loved ones. So thank you very much, Hornady, for building such a wonderful bullet, and I'm glad that I bought these, so I hope you enjoyed it. Again, please click on that little like and subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Over and out for now.